Hello, everyone. That's the first of many pictures, I bet, tonight. So, good evening. My name is Mark Grozbowski. I'm honored to serve as the Master of Ceremonies tonight for the investiture of Illinois Valley Community College's 11th president, Dr. Tracy Morris. I like that. Us student services folks like to have fun, so keep that up. So I'm the Vice President for Student Services here at the college, and I'm privileged to be part of this very special evening. Tracy's been a mentor, friend, and a colleague to me for many years. And as we begin this evening, it's an honor to introduce her mentor, so my grand mentor, Dr. Robert P. Marshall.
Thank you, Mark. Good evening. By way of background, for those of you who don't know me, I held a series of administrative positions over the course of my 30 years here at IVCC. For many years, I served as Director of Admissions and Records, followed by Dean of Students, and for the last 7 years prior to my retirement in 2009, as Vice President for Student Services. One of the best personnel decisions of my career occurred in 2001, hiring Tracy Morris. Tracy came in for the newly created position of Counselor and Coordinator of Student Orientation. If I recall correctly, we invited 4 candidates in to interview for that position, during which she stood out head and shoulders above the competition. I supervised Tracy in this position, and subsequently when, again after an open competitive search, she became Director of Admissions and Records. As her supervisor, it became clear to me in short order that Tracy was a rising star with a galaxy of ideas, goals, and plans. She seemingly had nearly limitless potential. Now, I admit to pestering, some may say badgering, her about pursuing the doctorate. And although somewhat initially reluctant when she decided to take that plunge, she did so with characteristic energy and enthusiasm. It has been an honor to supervise Tracy, to watch her grow in her profession, and now, these many years later, to call her my friend. Excuse me. We have a beautiful evening planned. The tradition of investiture is designed to provide a symbolic recognition of the transition for a new president. It gives us the opportunity to honor the great history of IVCC and allows our new president the time to introduce her vision for the future as we celebrate together as a community. We thank all of you for joining us this evening and ask that you please rise as the military veterans of the Oglesby American Legion Post 237 present the colors, and IVCC alumnus Matt Valley sings our national anthem.
on worthy light. What so proudly we hail as the twilight last gleams, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we walk were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket threatened bombs bursting in air gave through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good evening. I'm Kathy Ross, and I am the Vice President for Business Services and Finance. It is my privilege to recognize so many special guests joining us tonight for this historic event. Let us recognize our former presidents and interim presidents for their perseverance, wisdom, and service throughout the years. Dr. Jean Goodnow. Our first female president was named IVCC's 8th president in 1996 and served until 2005. During her tenure, 9 new career programs were developed. The college received in excess of $15 million in grants. A human resources office was established. A development office was created, and the assets of the IVCC Foundation grew from $1.7 million in 1996 to $2.6 million in 2004. Dr. Goodnow went on to serve as president of Delta College until her retirement, where she was honored as President Emeritus. Dr. Charles Novak was appointed interim president in 2005 and served IVCC for 1 year. Dr. Novak is the former director of continuing education at IVCC in the 1970s and past president of 2 other Illinois community colleges, came out of retirement to assist the board in its search for IVCC's 9th president. Dr. Novak was honored as President Emeritus at Richland Community College after his retirement. Dr. Larry Huffman retired as the president at Kankakee Community College and served as IVCC's 9th president, July 2006 through June 2007. Dr. Huffman was IVCC's Dean of Student Development from 1974 to 1977. Dr. Huffman implemented strategic planning and initiated the creation of the Foundation's IVCC LPO Hall of Fame and 21st Century Scholar Society. Dr. Huffman was named President Emeritus at Kankakee Community College upon his retirement. In 2007, Dr. Dave Lewis was appointed interim president. Dr. Lewis had retired as president of Kishwaukee Community College and served IVCC until the board announced the appointment of the 10th president in 2008. Dr. Wiskowski and Dr. Corcoran were unable to join us tonight, but their contributions to the college are tremendous. And today we recognize their service to IVCC, which spans a combined 60-plus years. We have a number of guests who are joining us from IVCC's Board of Trustees, both past and present, that we would also like to recognize. I would ask these guests to please stand, and we ask you to hold your applause until the end. Chairman Everett Solon, Vice Chairman Jay McCracken, Secretary Angela Stevenson, Trustees Jane Getz, Dr. Amy Boyles, Dr. Maureen Rebholz, Dr. Rebecca Donna, and Student Trustee Elizabeth Boyles, as well as Board Attorney Walt Zukowski. Past trustees joining us today include Dave Mallory, Dr. Lori Scroggs, and Melissa Olivero online. Foundation Board of Directors joining us tonight include O.J. Stoutner, Bill Hunt, Dr. Kim Novak, Jim Loveland, and Patricia Siebert. These trustees and directors serve without compensation and are so important to the work we do at IVCC for our students. Please join me in thanking them for their support and dedication to the college. We have colleagues from local school districts and other community colleges who have traveled to celebrate with us this evening that we would like to recognize. Joining us on stage is Dr. Klein Namuha. I didn't do it right. Namuo. My apologies. President of Joliet Junior College. Would our colleagues from Woodland School District, Illinois Central College, Joliet Junior College, Northern Illinois University, Elgin Community College, Harper College, Kishwaukee College, Heartland Community College, and Eureka College please stand and be recognized. Joining us this evening are retirees, current faculty, staff, and administration from IVCC. These individuals have dedicated their lives in service to IVCC. If you would please stand and be recognized. Finally, to the friends and most importantly, the family of Dr. Morris, who have guided and supported her in this journey, we welcome you and thank you for joining us this evening. And I'm going to go off script just for 1 minute. I am the newest member of administration. I think Tracy's first hire. And so I feel very honored to be part of this future. And we were asked for words of what describe her. I did not have the opportunity to work with her when she was here before, but it came very clear to me that she is caring, compassionate, and a go-getter. And I'm going to try really hard to stay in pace with her.
She didn't flip the pages. Anyway, I'm Gary Roberts. I'm the Vice President for Academic Affairs, and I probably got the most exciting part of this evening, and that's the investiture, the history of the investiture. The investiture ceremony is counted among the oldest of traditions in academia, originating in English universities and modeled after highly dignified knighthood ceremonies. Investiture comes from the Latin phrase for dress in robe. That's why we're all like this. The wearing of the academic regalia signifies the education levels of the participants. The investiture of a president is a significant event in the life of a college, and as IVCC enters into its 100th year, this is the opportune time to celebrate our history and look ahead to our future. LaSalle Peru Oglesby Junior College, founded in 1924, has been guided by 11 directors and presidents, each of whom has left an indelible mark on the history of IVCC. This ceremony will celebrate their legacy and the legacy of the college over the past 100 years. The presidents and other administrators joining us today, representing their colleges, are wearing their academic regalia. The attire worn by participants in collegiate inaugurations reflects symbolism dating back to the 12th and 13th centuries. From medieval practice, academic dress has 3 items: a cap, a gown, and a hood. There are additional descriptions in your program for regalia representation. The donning of the academic regalia is reserved for special ceremonies in higher education, including commencement, and is a way to celebrate our history and education. And before we take a quiz on that, I would like to introduce our select group back here: Brandon Chubakowski, Megan Olson, John Armstrong, Andrew Jacoby, and Mary Estelle with a musical selection.
Thank you so much for that beautiful selection. Next, we have invited several distinguished guests to share their thoughts and insights with us. First, another one of Dr. Morris's mentors, Dr. Jean Goodnow. She was the college's first female president, and we are honored that Dr. Goodnow is able to join us this evening. Dr. Goodnow?
So, some of you may be asking yourself, who is this woman? I came from Iowa in 1996, serving as IVCC's 8th president. Within a year, we had a master plan, renovations, new construction, critical upgrades in technology, employee training, a development office, and the first director of human resources, who coincidentally was your previous president, Dr. Jerry Corcoran. We as a college community created a mission, a vision, and valued practices. In 2005, I left to serve as the president of Delta College in Michigan, a founding member of the League for Innovation in Community Colleges. And in 2021, I retired. No pressure, no stress, but I'm a golfer. So that was an option. When I learned that one of my former administrators, Dr. Tracy Morris, had applied to serve as IVCC's 11th president, I was elated. Tracy was a member of my administrative cabinet, a bright, young, innovative woman with a very quick wit and a sparkling personality, and always the first to volunteer, regardless of what I was asking. Thinking back, Tracy probably regrets volunteering to walk the entire parade event at the Mendota Sweet Corn Festival in the sweltering heat and humidity. But we won a trophy at IVCC. In 2001, Tracy was hired as the first counselor coordinator of student orientation. Let me tell you, Tracy in her 20s was a fireball of energy and enthusiasm. She had great ideas about student engagement. Her next position with IVCC was Director of Admissions and Records. She went to the Illinois State Fair in Springfield to recruit students. On her return to campus, I had to bring her into the president's office and bring to her attention that the southern portion of IVCC College District only went as far as Winona and Toluca. Presidents in other districts would, understand what I'm talking about here, or got into their territory. As the daughter of a first-generation college student and a single parent, Tracy had an innate ability to empathize with adult students. I was impressed with her down-to-earth approach to students. Tracy could bridge the gap between the demands of college and life responsibilities. For the IVCC community, sadly, Tracy had to leave Oglesby to learn, enhance her skills, and expand her community college administration experience to eventually become a community college president. She may have left, but she never moved on. Throughout those years, she continued to attend IVCC nurses pinning, commencements, and the annual employee celebrations. In fact, Tracy is legendary at Verrucci's, a local restaurant where many of IVCC employees and former employees headed for their family celebrations. On her way to pick up carryout through the years, she has joined in on the festivities. Tonight, I am delighted to say Tracy has come home. Back on the IVCC campus, Tracy has spent her time going around the college and getting to know her team by listening. Truly great leaders like Tracy, they listen. She's a creative visionary who is passionate, enthusiastic, and, frankly, she's a darn good storyteller. It is my hope that Tracy will inspire you, stretch you, and make IVCC a diverse community college that continues to give back to the community. Tracy, as a truly exemplary servant leader, she's prepared to continue the rich legacy of LPO Junior College and serve as the first president alumna of Illinois Valley Community College. I hope that you all have the opportunity to engage with your 11th president, Dr. Tracy Morris, and have the privilege to come to know her as I have. Thank you.
You said Verrucci's, and all I can think about is fried chicken. I didn't eat dinner yet. We almost lost our ducky here. So thank you, Dr. Goodnow. Your impact on IVCC has been tremendous, and we thank you for being here with us tonight. Next, we've asked two of our current staff members to share a few words about Dr. Morris. First, I'd like to welcome Kira Pfeffinger, tongue twister of a title here, Early Childhood Education Support Coordinator at IVCC, to share her reflections. Kira?
Greetings and welcome to all. My name is Kira Pfeffinger, the Early Childhood Education Support Coordinator at IVCC. I am a 3-time alumnus of the college, which includes a CNA certificate, Associate in Applied Science in ECE, and Associate in Arts degree. I'm proud of my efforts in accomplishing these goals, but the most memorable time was when I was taking classes for my AAS in ECE, and my mom was working toward her basic certificate in ECE through the BEST program, and with the support of Project Success. Project Success made this first college experience for my mother and me positive and individualized. My journey began 30 years ago, fresh from high school. I've carried what I've learned at IVCC into my undergraduate and graduate studies. Now I am proud to be part of the IVCC staff. I have the privilege of connecting current early childhood education students with all the wonderful support services that has benefited my mother and me all those years ago. IVCC has grown in so many ways within the community as we service both traditional and non-traditional students. We have so many welcoming events and opportunities for the community, and I know with Dr. Morris as our leader, these opportunities will continue to grow exponentially. not only for our students, but for the entire IVCC team and the communities that we serve. In the short time that I've known Dr. Morris, I have seen her work with IVCC teams to elevate the college to its highest potential. Dr. Morris's story is personal, much like mine. She recognizes her connection to the people she serves, which makes her an amazing leader. Her dedication to teamwork and an openness to hear all perspectives makes her a phenomenal president. Thank you, Dr. Morris, for being exactly what this college needs to make IVCC a place each and every student calls home.
The role of our staff and all of our employees is critical in our support of student learning. Your personal connection to IVCC and your work to help to guide our students, shape their experiences, and enhance their celebrations is such a gift to the college and our community. Thank you, Kira. Next, I would like to bring to the podium one of our faculty members and a longtime friend of Dr. Morris, English and journalism instructor, Lori Chenault. Lori?
I get the duck, so that's my calm down one, right? Okay, so those of you who know me well, especially that group up there, was probably a little bit nervous when I was approaching the podium. English teachers are known to have like lots of words, right? Add the journalism part in there, and what can I say? Lots of words. And so, you know, I talked to Tracy about it, and Dr. Morris said that I could have 45 to 50 minutes, definitely under an hour, right? Okay, 5 to 7 minutes, sorry. 6. Okay, so words, right? Words. For some, the installation of a new president may bring up a host of words. Change, unknown, fear, anxiety. We're always trying to answer that age-old question, like, what's going to happen next, or what's going to happen to me? For those of us who have been around a while, we had a pretty good idea of what we would be getting when Dr. Morris interviewed for this role. I've known Dr. Morris for more than 25 years. We share some of the same important people in both of our lives. Our daughters grew up together, and we've had some good times, right? I worked with her when she started at IVCC as the counselor and coordinator of student retention, then as director of admissions and as AVP. Tracy has always been a staunch student advocate. She's there for the students, and they know it. Over those years, personally and professionally, we have shared both laughter and tears. Tracy, I want you to know your sister, your grandma, your grandmas, your grandpa, they're all here, along with Shannon Washington, along with our super fan, John Osala. They are all here with us. And you guys, I will tell you, they are beaming with pride the way that this whole group of family is right in front of me. Whew, okay. So when I worked with Tracy in those early days at IVCC, I knew her goals, I knew her passions, and her dreams to be a large part of Illinois Valley Community College's future. And I was here when she left. I won't tell Tracy's story. She's going to come up here and do that herself, right? But she took a journey that brings us to a whole new set of words. That journey allowed her to grow and to achieve, to gain experience, to listen, to learn. She grew strong, and she grew ready. And when she learned that the college was looking for its 11th president, its 11th leader, she considered carefully, and she stepped up. So now I'm here for her return. And isn't this grand? Okay, in preparing for tonight's remarks, I thought about what words I should share, right? For those who do not know Dr. Morris well, what words should they know? What do they need to know about Tracy? And so I turned to those who know her best. I enlisted the help of her mom, Nancy, her Aunt Diane, her cousin Amy, and her daughter Zoe, who's with us on Zoom. And I said, hey, can you share this with some people and ask them for 5 words that describe Dr. Morris? And the results are in. I think you were all handed that piece of paper as you walked in. You can take a look at that word cloud that you were handed when you entered the Cultural Center, and you can focus first on those middle words. Those middle words, those ones that are slightly bigger than the rest, are ones that appeared over and over. They were in several answers. The caring and compassion there at the center, they align well with our college's core values and who we as a college want to be to each other, to our students, to our community. Her passion, her loyalty, her determination, you see those words there too. Those will carry her forward as she leads the college into its next 100 years. There are some outliers there that show that her family and friends know her well. Selfie Queen, I know who did that one. Selfie Queen made me laugh, right? Mother and daughter, those made me feel really warm inside. And Tracy, you were definitely admired and loved by all of those close to you. My word search wasn't done, though. I repeated this exercise one more time. I enlisted Mark Grzybowski's help to send an email to the whole college, but not Tracy. So most importantly, he had to keep a secret from her, and he delivered. Thank you, Mark. And you can turn your sheet over to see those words. You see, Dr. Morris has been with us since April, preparing for this transition to her new role at our college. And she has been everywhere, right? I don't think that there's a corner that she has not visited or a person that she has not met. The Tracy Morris that her friends and family know, that one that they described on their side of the sheet of paper, is the same one that her IVCC family knows or is getting to know. That caring and compassion at her center, those are in the center for both of those groups. You merge that with her energy and her enthusiasm, her passion, and you can see where IVCC is heading. Yes, there are still outliers on those sheets, and they are descriptive as well. Tracy, I will tell you that my favorites are Spring Valleyite, Blonde Bomber. Did you guys see that one on there? And as well as that Get Her Done. I don't know. I guess if you know, you know, right? So we'll see. It's not surprising, though, that so many of those words are the same. Those words show that as a leader, Tracy is genuine, she's open, and she's fair. She's a promise that IVCC wants to keep. Faculty and staff are ready to begin working with her. They are working with her. You can see them here. It's said that for everything, there's a season and a time for every matter. And I won't quote the whole verse, but there are some more important words there. A time to plant is our shout out to our One Book, One College team and the new native garden that Tracy allowed them to plant. It's also a shout out to Dr. Marshall, who planted that seed in Tracy and encouraged her to go for that education to get her doctorate. A time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up. Those words are ones that have meaning for many of my fellow employees. And there's a reason you're a doctor, right? Healing, that's part of it. Maybe not that kind of doctor, but still. Time to weep and laugh and mourn and dance. Jimmy Valvano said just 2 of those is a full day. So I think we got a lot on our plates. If you notice on those sheets, the word fun featured pretty predominantly on both of those lists. So hopefully lots of laughing and dancing. Just don't volunteer me, right? Okay. Finally, a time of peace. And I'll let that one sit with you for a minute. So sometimes the right person arrives at the right time. Tonight, at our official investiture, Dr. Morris is installed as the college's 11th president, the first IVCC alum to serve in that role. Her time is now. And together, we have the words that serve as the foundation, that base upon which Dr. Morris will build her legacy. So it's time, Tracy. Get her done. Okay. And I got the duck. Can't do it. I'm sorry. Oh my God.
I'll get there. Thank you, Lori. The role of our faculty in enhancing student learning and shaping futures is such an important part of the work we do every day here at the college. We thank you and all of our faculty for their dedication and commitment to continually striving to make IVCC the quality institution that it has been for almost 100 years. Finally, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Klein Namuo. Dr. Namuo came to Joliet Junior College as their 10th president in 2022 and is yet another mentor, colleague, and friend for Dr. Morris. Dr. Namuo?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much. My name is Klein Namuo, and I proudly serve as the 10th president of Joliet Junior College. I want to take a moment to acknowledge all of the JJC people who made the trek here. Will you stand and be recognized, please? Now, you might think we've come in peace. You'd be wrong. To the board, we're here to take her back. We want her, we need her, we recognize that we're broken without her, so Tracy, you're coming with us. It's been a fun few months, and we're not leaving. No, we're not leaving without you. As you can see, Tracy's made quite an impact on the lives of so many, and I've got honored that you would ask me to offer some thoughts. I was able to help Tracy through the presidential search process. We spent some time in the president's conference room doing what we do on the whiteboard, preparing you for this process. Now I've got 3 pieces of advice for you. You ready? Okay. The categories are this: the community is key, the job's hard, the future is undecided. Are you with me? Okay. It's nice to see so many of our previous presidents here who I understand can recognize and resonate with, connect to the second part. The community is key. Don't hit the ground running. Don't hit the ground walking. Don't hit the ground crawling. Hit the ground listening. You've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Consider using as your leadership. Consider that ratio. You've also got 2 thumbs, so you can selfie away. All right, okay. I recognize that IVCC means a lot to many of you, to all of you. It's what brought you here. And so, Tracy, I ask that you consider that while you report to the wonderful Board of Trustees, that you belong to all of them. The students, faculty, staff, and the community. And on a regular basis, be sure to thank your family because they're sharing you with all of them. Community is key. So a couple of members of my cabinet recognize kind of where this next part's coming from. As part of my presidential search process, I made it very clear to our Board of Trustees when they asked the question, what can we do to support you? Yes, presidential Lamborghini. And I thought, okay, too soon. Then I described Special Daddy Pickup Day, that my son will only be 9 once, and every Friday afternoon, I'm out. And when Kainoa gets off the bus, I will be there every single Friday, considering how much we give to these jobs, these roles, and this community and this college. They'll understand. And if they didn't, if the board said, well, no, it's not going to work for us, and that wasn't the right place for me. Thankfully, my board understands and appreciates that I am a complete human being with roles and responsibilities outside of the presidency. As much energy as you have, as much as you have and will give this fantastic college, don't ever feel bad when you need to take the time for yourself. Maybe it's a special mommy pickup day. Could be a walk, could be time off, whatever form that might take. Never, ever feel bad about that. Because you can't serve all of these incredible people, this wonderful community, if you indeed are not your best self. Are you with me on that one? Okay. And lastly, the future is undecided. You probably guess where I'm going with this one. But if we're solving the problems of today, we failed our students, who will be our graduates, who will be members of our community, who will be the future. So it's up to you then to lead a vision that helps shape the future of higher education, future of community colleges here in Illinois. To IVCC, boy, you got a good one. She knows who she is, and that'll continue to be on display. Take care of her, will you? Take care of her.
We have an administrative team meeting every Monday morning. It's called President's Council. Tracy, I have an agenda item for Monday. Close the college on Fridays. I got your back. We'll lead that discussion together. Okay. I'd now like to invite Board Chairman Everett Solon to join Dr. Morris at the podium to present the Presidential Medallion Necklace. The medallion, also known as a chain of command, symbolizes the past and the future of the college. Originating in the Middle Ages, medallions are worn by presidents on ceremonial occasions as part of their regalia. During the investiture ceremony, the chain and medallion are placed around the president's neck as a symbol of the authority entrusted to the new president and to represent the yoke of responsibility for the institution. The president will thereafter wear the chain and medallion at all academic convocations, commencements, and other ceremonial events requiring academic regalia. This is the first presidential medallion, designed to honor the history of IVCC and celebrate our future as a leader for higher education in the Illinois Valley. The medallion is made of brass and features the spire of the Peter Miller Community Technology Center that graces our main entrance to the college. The names of all presidents will be added to the medallion so that it will continue to honor their leadership legacies. Chairman Solon, please come forward to present the Presidential Medallion to Dr. Morris. Chairman Solon, please place the Presidential Medallion on Dr. Morris as a symbol of her investiture as the 11th President of Illinois Valley Community College. She's kind of a big deal now, and it's her turn to talk, so.
Wow. Those of you who know me know I'm not a big fan of written speeches, so I'm going to try to stay on target, so I apologize. We're getting close on time. Thank you. As I have stood here watching people walk in and stood up here on stage, I am just overwhelmed and humbled and thankful. Mike, Zoe, Caroline, every step of the way, you never doubted, and you always supported me. Big hello to my beautiful daughter Zoe, our beautiful daughter Zoe, and her friends who are hopefully watching from Iowa City. I'm so proud of you and the way you're leading your sorority to do great things. Could not be more proud. Caroline, my sweet Caroline, I will try to follow Dr. Nemuro's advice and be there as much as I can. And if I'm ever off track, please tell me. Okay? And Mike, thank you. You do the dogs, the laundry, getting Caroline to school, a lot of that stuff. Now I just have to get you to cook and it'll be perfect. I'm not a real great cook. My parents, I'm so blessed to have my 4 parents with me today, my brothers, my family, my heart family. I'm without words. We cannot organize for a picture, but I always know you have my back. The amazing planning team, when we came up with this crazy idea, I said, who'd like to be a part? And these people jumped in head first. Crystal, Valerie, Lori, Chad, Gary, Bob, otherwise known as Dick Beachy, Jerry Lynn Schultz, Corey Thomason, who drove the shuttle. Many of you are probably thankful for Corey today. Mark Grisbowski, Peggy Schneider, and Sandy Beard. You have made this day beyond anything I could ever imagine. Sandy is my right hand in so many things day to day, and I don't know where you disappeared to, but this day would not be anything without you, wherever you are. There you are. Thank you, Sandy. Can we give Sandy a huge, she is amazing. To my flower team of Debbie Birch, Jeanette Phelan, and then my hype crew of Dave Keister and Don Grant Zelmer. Thank you. I'm still waiting for the crown and the carriage and Prince Harry and everybody to be here. I don't know where they're at. The board and the foundation board have been so amazing and supportive and have allowed me to find my path and lead in my own way, and I am so thankful. Andy Stanley said, your friends will determine the quality and direction of your life, and I think it's pretty safe to say that I am beyond blessed. I have so many treasured friends from so many different parts of my life with me today. My Putnam County pals, my friends from IVCC, from Wendy's, from Western, including my sorority mom, who I haven't seen in like 10 years. I'm so thankful you're here. My friends from Northern, my Spring Valley people, friends from Mendota, Illinois Central College, Joliet Junior College, and all my colleagues. Yeah, right up front and they make noise. You see why I fit in well there. I have new friends. I have longtime friends. And every one of you means the world to me. My doctoral chair, Dr. Rose, Dr. Munson, and Dr. Macbeth from my cohort. There were so many times I wanted to quit, and I cannot tell you how much it means to have you with me today. And then my IVCC community. Those who welcomed me here and welcomed me back. with open arms. These amazing people on the stage who, even though they despise public speaking, said yes to being a part of today. We have people who have, yeah, they really do. That's why the duck's here. I don't have a fear of speaking. We have people from Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Iowa, online in Arizona, and people from all over the state. Thank you. Thank you. Those who hear me speak a lot know that I always say community colleges change lives. IVCC has changed mine profoundly. My first memory of IVCC is as a young girl for my mom's nurse pinning. I was about 9 years old, and she was dressed in her white dress uniform, and all I thought was, wow, she's pretty. I had no idea the work and the sacrifice that a single mom of 3 young children made. But every day, that informs why I lead the way that I lead. Coming back to school is tough. Coming back to school with children is tougher. And as a single parent, it's even tougher. So thank you, Mom. My teachers, I came to IVCC as a not quite so motivated high school student, not really sure what I wanted to do. And I had legends like Ed Krolak, who would look at me when I'd say, I don't know, stick his hand through his hair, and he would never let me get away with saying, I don't know. Gil Meyer made education fun in a way I had never seen before as he taught psychology in his jeans sitting on the desk. Harold Boswell called me out because I wasn't really going to class very regularly. Miss Kapinski, really nice of you to show up today. I was so mortified I'd never missed his class again. He noticed and he cared. And in his traditional snarky way, he made sure that I knew that he knew I wasn't coming to class. And I'm so thankful for them. If you were here early enough to see the pictures, I have pictures of my commencement from IVCC. It is something I am so proud of. I have my letter from Bob Marshall, because I throw nothing away. I have pictures of Dr. Wiskowski, who was the first and only LPO graduate to be the president of this college, shaking my hand and giving me my diploma. He sent me the most beautiful note that he couldn't be here today, but that history is so important to me. And even our college attorney, Walt Zukowski, was my graduation speaker, a point that he's not probably real happy that I'm bringing up in front of everybody, sorry. When it came time to enter higher ed, Bill Ubel put in a good word for me. He knew me a little. He's like, please take a look at her. And Bob Marshall and Marianne Zeke took that challenge and took a chance on a young girl, or young woman, I guess, who had no higher ed experience and maybe a little bit too much enthusiasm. So thank you, Marianne, and thank you, Bob. I was able to serve as a counselor when the steel mill in Hennepin closed. Those were men and women that I worked with in my summer days, and they had to come back to school when their job was suddenly taken away. That informs who I am as a leader every day, and I take that seriously. And we did the same when the hospitals closed. We are here for our community, and I will always commit to that. All of my student services team members, faculty, and staff who supported and worked with me and made it so hard to leave. They gifted me with a 4-leaf clover, I have so much stuff on right now, that I have worn throughout my career on those days where I need an extra boost, because they begged that someday maybe I would come back. And I'm so proud and thankful that I did. I wore it on both days that I interviewed here as well. To my dear, sweet friend, Connie Skirston, she was my right hand in so many ways. She taught me to always look for efficiencies, to try something new, to try to make things better for our students, and to have some fun along the way. I only wish she was here. Rick Pierce challenged me. He was the first one to tell me that if I wanted to be a president someday, I had to leave. And I argued with him. I said, no, I don't. He said, you do. And I had to break out of that comfort zone so I would have the chance to come back as your president. Dr. Pierce, I'm not sure if you made it or not, or if you're watching online, where are you at? You were right. You were right. Thank you. A mentor is someone who sees more talent and ability within you than you see in yourself and helps to bring it out in you, by Bob Proctor. Bob Marshall, Dr. Marshall, thank you for seeing something in me that I did not see, for encouraging me to get involved in ICARU and IACRO at the state level, for giving me leadership opportunities I never expected. You let me be in charge when you were out of the office. I even got to be in your cool parking spot. And for letting me be me as I grew as a leader. Dr. Goodenow, You were my first strong female leader. Your passion for education is unlimited. I remember interviewing, I told you this today, for the director of admissions job in the basement of Building D. So down by EMT, that's where we were. That's where Dr. Goodenow was. I don't remember what you said that day, but I remember I was so excited when I left your office for the opportunity to work on your team and to start making changes. When I was preparing for this role, you were selfless in making time for me, rallying others to support me, and supporting me in every way possible. When I joined the team at ICC, Dr. John Irwin, one of his first questions for me was, do you want to be a president someday? I was a little hesitant. I said, maybe. And he said, good, then it's my job to get you there. And I believe John's watching today, and I'm so thankful. He was another selfless mentor who made time for me throughout this process, helped me prepare, and served as a reference and a supporter. At ICC, my leadership team, my coaches, my student success team have continued to be dear friends. Unfortunately, they have a board meeting today, so I don't have very many of them today. They're colleagues I can trust with questions. They help me learn how to be an authentic leader and how to lead in a new way. And I grew so much in those 5 years, and I use those lessons every day. And what can I say about my JJC family? My first bullet point, they are here en masse. My time at JJC was invaluable to me, not only as IVCC's president, but I learned so much, not just about compliance. I never thought people would be sad that a compliance officer left. Thank you for that. I got to work in the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion office, which changed my life, and it was one of the most rewarding opportunities of my career. I've had leadership and support. I think you can all see why leaving Dr. Namulo's leadership is so hard, because he's dynamic and he's going to do great things, but he cares deeply. The generosity and giving of the JJC Foundation opened my eyes to new ways to get involved. So we're going to do some really cool things here in the next upcoming year. And when we talk about community support, everywhere I go, I am just overwhelmed and humbled. Not only are people glad that I'm here, but they tell me their story. Hey, I went to IVCC. My mom went to IVCC. My kid goes to IVCC. I love IVCC. We need to tell those stories. By now, you probably know how much the college means to me and my family. Within my family, we have taken classes in nursing, truck driver training, welding, criminal justice, adult education, math refresher, dual credit, kids camp, yoga, baby massage, and aromatherapy classes, driver improvement classes. They're a great moneymaker for the college. Glad to contribute. This college is a beacon for our community, and I could not be more proud to be here today as your president. My sister found her love for volunteering here when she was a student, working with the Senior Center in Standard. My father-in-law played football here for LPO, and John Osala, my mom's cousin, played basketball and became a super fan for a future generation of athletes. From both of these amazing men and their teammates, I learned so much about the value of athletics that goes much deeper than wins and losses. So I'm in week 12, officially week 12. We have accomplished a lot. When Kathy says the pace has been fast, it's been fast, but I'm thankful that I am not doing it alone. Our facilities team has been phenomenal. If you walk around, the furniture in the Academic Support Center and the library changed the learning environments. Why? Because they asked, and we were able to make that happen. We've got new landscaping. We've got new paint. Get rid of the orange. We now have purple. I'm really excited about that. We have video games. Students came to us and said, we want some new video games, and Corey made it happen. I'm terrible at Pac-Man. That hasn't changed. We were able to do our first ever significant equity increases for our staff. I could not be more proud of the work that my team did to help to begin to shape the compensation for the future of our college. You deserve it. We started facility master planning. It is so exciting to be looking ahead to the future of the buildings on this campus, and the energy here is contagious. People are excited and beginning to see possibilities. Our daughter Zoe found something at Iowa and took pictures and said, hey, Mom, you need to do this at IVCC. Kim Kaler was in Colorado, took pictures and said, hey, show these, we want to do this. I'm so excited to embrace these changes and make them happen. Employees are thinking outside the box, thinking big. Our 100th committee was when a meeting went on for an extra half hour. After it was over. Nobody ever stays once a meeting's over here. They stayed for a half hour because they're so excited to celebrate the history of this college and to make changes at how to make this college better for our future. If you ever see me walk in the morning, I'm not a morning person, but you'll see me smile. Every day as I look at that spire, I know the campus looks amazing, but I know that together we are going to do great things. We are doing our mission, vision, values, and strategic goals. The excitement and enthusiasm, the goal for me is to have every employee see how they connect to our mission and vision every day. Every single role here is important to the work that we do for our students. It is my goal that visitors, community members, and students, from the minute they walk on campus, know what our mission and vision are and how we are here to serve them, and hopefully by experiencing them every day. As you may have heard, we are turning 100. April 24th, 1924, LPO Junior College was established. We are second only to Joliet Junior College, which was the first in the nation. That's $5. Thank you. All right. To our foundation, please. The visionaries who started LPO, a junior college on the third floor of LP High School, saw a vision for higher education in our community. From those early days of under 50 students to transitioning to the campus here of Illinois Valley Community College more than 50 years ago has been tremendous. So what I would like to ask you to do, because I know you're probably tired of sitting also, if you ever took a class at IVCC, please stand. Okay, sorry, JJC people. Okay. Okay. Raise your hand if you graduated from LPO or IVCC. I love it. My sister-in-law graduated. I love it. The impact of our college on this community, our doctors, our nurses, police officers, teachers, business owners, donors, and leaders walked through these halls. Our alumni work in our stores, in our factories, in our restaurants, in our schools, and in our businesses. It's our duty to make education accessible to all. Our leaders, our alumni serve on chambers of commerce, Rotary clubs, booster clubs, and PTOs. So many of you here who serve our community, I'm thankful that you are here, and I look forward to partnering with you, including Bill Zenz, who is one of my student ambassadors, who is now our chamber director. So glad to have you here, Bill. So how are we going to celebrate? Those of you who know me know I like to have a party. Our plan is to have 100 different events between now and April of 2025. They're not all going to be huge like this, but we're going to do 100 different ways to celebrate this college, and we want to tell at least 100 stories of our alumni. We're going to do some facility refreshing and renovations. We're going to continue the work to make our campus beautiful for our 100th. We are going to have a euchre tournament. Very important part of my time at IVCC as a student. We're going to do expansion of our employee giving and directed foundation campaigns to benefit our students in the next 100 years. Starting in October, we're going to do a basic needs drive. We hope that you will help us to reach our goal of obtaining 100 basic needs items by October 31st. By diminishing barriers, we are going to enhance our students' chances of success. I am so proud that we have our first ever fully functioning food bank, but there's room to grow. I would love to see refrigeration and freezer and fresh food for our students. But right now, we've taken our first step. And as of the end of August, in 1 month, we had 44 students utilize our food bank, 29 children within those homes. That is critical work. Crystal Creedy led this charge, and I could not be more proud of the impact we're having on our students so that they face a little bit less food insecurity. The last thing was something that popped into my head one night when I couldn't sleep, and it was the concept of emeritus status. And so you've heard us reference this a few times. Emeritus status is an honorary designation to individuals who have served our college community with extended service and extended meritorious service. At the board meeting this last month, the Board of Trustees approved a resolution to begin to grant emeritus status, and we began with our presidents, because as a smaller population, are a little easier. I'm only number 11. Out of our 10 presidents, 5 directors and presidents have been granted President Emeritus status. Dr. Thomas J. McCormick, our first director of LPO, served for 8 years, but he was a driving force behind the development of LPO Junior College. Dr. Frank Jensen was the third director of LPO, who served for 11 years until his death. The new wing of the school and what is now known as Howard Fellows Stadium were the first. This is why I should write it down. Howard Fellows Stadium were both built under his watch, and he was the first ever to develop the concept of night classes for us. Dr. Francis Dolan, the fourth director of LPO and the first president of IVCC, served for 20 years in those 2 combined roles, and as well as 10 in the assistant director role. Dr. Dolan guided the college and community to become IVCC, and I am so thankful. Dr. Al Wiskowski served LPO and IVCC for 30 years, with 21 as a president of IVCC. Now, I will tell you, I love this job. I don't know if I have 21 in me. That'll make me really old. He was the first and only LPO alumnus to serve as a president, and he is credited with building this beautiful cultural center, updating the East Campus, and leading the college in business partnerships. We will do his resolution at the next meeting since he was unable to attend. And Dr. Jerry Corcoran, the college's 10th president, served the college for 33 years, including 15 as president, before retiring on June 30th. Dr. Corcoran left the efforts for the Ottawa Center, the Community Technology Center, this beautiful building we're in, the Agriculture Education Center, which we will break grounds on in the spring, and the Truck Driver Training Center. We will also do his resolution at the next meeting. I also would be remiss to not recognize, as we said earlier, our 3 presidents who served us who have received emeritus status at their respective colleges. Dr. Goodnow served 51 years in the field of education. You're only 54, so it's good. Dr. Huffman was president emeritus at Kankakee Community College, and he served 14 years as a president there and a 30-plus year career in education. He then not only came to IVCC as our president, but he also served on our board of trustees and has continued to be involved and support the college across the community. Dr. Novak was one of our interim presidents, and he retired as a president emeritus at Richland Community College after 12 years as a president and a 30-plus year career in education. And Chuck was an amazing centering force for me when I needed help. He helped me write my first ever difficult performance evaluation, and he sat with me for hours to help a young leader learn how to do it in a kind and compassionate way. And Dave Lewis was also our interim president. He was the third president at Kishwaukee College, where he served for 34 years, including 7 as a president. And I'm so thankful, Dave, that you're able to be here with us today. It means so much to me. You look at those leaders who are here today. Not only are they here today supporting me, they represent over 150 years of educational leadership right here. But we're not done. We are beginning to work with our college community to develop processes to recognize faculty emeritus, adjunct faculty emeritus, and staff and administrator emeritus. There have been so many amazing people who have touched this college, and I'm engaging the college community to help to make sure that we're doing that in the way that we need to do that. So many amazing people have dedicated their careers to LPO and IVCC, and this is a way to celebrate and recognize them. I have loved going, almost to a fault, loved going through old yearbooks and artifacts. You can find me walking the basement, looking in closets. I am confident that as we continue to learn about the contributions of our campus community, it will be even more fascinating. I'm almost done. Tonight has been a night that I will never, ever forget. However, please take pictures, send them to me, post them for me, so we can look back and remember this special night. I will stay as long as people want to take pictures. I know you know that about me. I got a lot of pictures done before. I think I got an hour and a half's worth of pictures before, but there's still more. I see some of you. There are also advice cards out there. Take some time to give me some advice. Client, I hope you'll write yours down, even though they're now recorded. Or send a message through the website. Having each of you here means so much to me, and I want to be able to treasure that always. We hope you'll come join us for some of the events for our 100th birthday. This is the first event. And then last, please keep doing things that make our colleges and our communities better. We are changing lives every day, and I could not be more proud to be the president of the college that has changed my life. Thank you. I think y'all just wanted to stand up. We're almost done. It is now my privilege to invite our student trustee, Elizabeth Boyles, to close our ceremony.
I'm going to be quite frank. They always leave out the part that my speech instructor is going to be sitting in the back watching me. So I aced his class, though, so here goes nothing, Corey. On behalf of the Student Government Association, students at IVCC, and Dr. Morris, we want to thank you for celebrating this monumentous occasion with us. This is a historic day for our community and for IVCC, and we are once again reminded of the tremendous support our community brings. I graduated from Princeton High School and chose IVCC as my next step in my college education and as an opportunity to continue my athletics for the next 2 years. And my dad is crying. Oh my God. Oh. And I skipped the page. Okay. For me, IVCC has given me the opportunity to get out of my first 2 years of college completely debt-free and helped me build an extremely versatile resume full of valuable experiences. To some, this may not be big, but for me, it's one of my proudest accomplishments. As a student athlete, I have been able to represent IVCC proudly as both a volleyball and softball player. As student trustee, it has been my job to represent our student body by being a voice for the students to our board of trustees, and it has been a privilege to be entrusted with these important roles. Over the past few months, my fellow student government leaders and I have been able to meet with Dr. Tracy Morris, Vice President for Student Services, Mark Grisbowski, and the Student Government Advisor, Corey Thomason, to set our goals for this year, which are to increase overall student involvement through the promotion of an activities calendar and increase social media presence for the SGA. It is my hope that the college will continue to serve students from across the community and provide a place where all students are welcome, all students are supported, and all students can reach their dreams.
Butchie, will you give her dad a handkerchief, please? Yeah, I'm not crying, you are. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you so much for serving as the voice for our students and as the student trustee and joining us this evening. Everyone, please join us after the ceremony for dessert reception in CTC 124-125. There are refreshment opportunities and opportunities to reconnect with old friends, celebrate new relationships and new beginnings. We do ask that you please allow all of the stage attendees to exit before leaving the Cultural Center. Thank you. And if you're not coming over to dessert, drive safely. Thank you.
Slipping into the future.